That new Pepsi ad that is sparking a lot of outrage out there. Critics are calling it tone deaf, and ABC's Lindsay Davis is here with more. Good morning, Lindsay.
Good morning to you, Michael. 21-year-old Kendall Jenner is the first model to get a big Pepsi ad since Cindy Crawford in 1992. But that's being overshadowed online, where many are calling the ad tasteless, saying it takes advantage of serious issues and movements to sell soda. This morning, a new Pepsi ad is falling flat, getting a major backlash on social media. At the center of the controversial soft drink commercial, model and Kardashian sister Kendall Jenner, seen participating in a high-end photo shoot as the streets flood with political protesters. Some are calling out the scene for exploiting the Black Lives Matter movement. Jenner quickly ditches her high-fashion shoot to join the masses. The model then appears to bring an end to the protest just by sharing a Pepsi with a police officer. Pepsi says the ad is meant to be a short film about letting go and following your passions, an attempt to appeal to a younger demographic. But many are noting the similarity between the image of Jenner and the officer to this widely circulated photo of Black Lives Matter protester Aisha Evans when she approached police at a demonstration in Baton Rouge. Twitter erupted overnight with tweets like, "I've been studying commercials for 30 years. Kendall's Pepsi ad is legitimately the worst one I've ever seen." And "How nice of Kendall Jenner to stop in the middle of her photo shoot to end social injustices by giving that cop a Pepsi. MLK who? Rosa who?" The Pepsi is defending the ad, saying it reflects people from different walks of life coming together in a spirit of harmony. One tweet about the commercial that's getting thousands of likes and retweets is one that theorizes that this Pepsi ad is so bad it must actually be an ad for Coke.
Ouch.
But that's just one theory, guys.
Wow. All right, Lindsay, thank you. Let's talk a little bit more about this. Let's bring in entertainment expert and former editor-in-chief of People magazine, Larry Hackett. Larry, this is, just crushing these responses online, and it really is just built up into quite a frenzy. What do you believe was Pepsi's initial intention for creating a commercial like this?
You can imagine the meeting where Pepsi was saying, we need to be more relevant. Young people aren't drinking enough soda. They're drinking pomegranate juice and sports juices and sports drinks. Let's get relevant. So people went back and they looked at their focus group interviews. And they looked at their bar graphs about the various metrics of what young people want. And they said, okay, they're more tolerant of, the different races, and, they're more socially active, right? Then they got involved and they like protests, so let's throw some protests in. They like celebrity, let's throw some of that in. And they like the Kardashians and Kendall Jenner, let's throw her in. When you put that, those ingredients all sound fine together, kind of like pepperoni and Snickers and grapes. You put that all in a pot, it doesn't taste very good. And that's what you have.
Very good the way
that's what you have here. Again, it was created in some Frankenstein lab of advertising, and this is what you ended up with.
Yeah, I think it's the idea that she's pretending she's walking off a commercial while being in the middle of a commercial.
So they're trying to, look, all advertising is a compression of ideas into a very, very small spot. And if you look at the Super Bowl and you look at the Coke ad or the Budweiser ad or the 84 Lumber ad, those are narratives that work and they're very, very effective. This, again, on paper was something they thought would work out, but it didn't. It's going to produce these kinds of memes and this kind of commentary. And what Pepsi wanted was relevance and association with young people. They're not going to become the laughingstock of young people.
But what kind of effect could this have on Pepsi now?
Well, it's going to have this kind of effect. In terms of the bottom line, not much. It's a massive company. So, they may not be selling as much soda to people. I don't think it's going to have an effect on Kendall Jenner either. She's just in the commercial. This isn't her fault. But I think it's going to be a cautionary tale for a lot of other marketers who have to be very careful about how they try to sell things.
Can a commercial tap into a movement successfully without offending?
Ironically, in 1971, there was the famous Coke ad. I want to teach, I like to teach the world to sing, right? That took place, though, on a hilltop with, very, very attractive young people singing a song. It may have been insipid, but it was in a world that was craving a kind of separation from all the tumult of the 1960s. And it wasn't really engaging with all the elements out there. It was referring to them, but not directly. That worked. It was a perfect element and a perfect commercial for its time.
You think they have to pull this?
I think they're going to pull it. I don't think they can withstand this kind of abuse. I think every time it comes on, it's just going to be one, joke after another. I admire the fact that they're defending it, but I just don't see how it goes on like this. The fact that we're here sort of talking about it on 7:30 in the morning is not what Pepsi was looking for, at least not for this reason.
Not in this way.
Yeah.
Okay, thank you, Larry.